Today, we are diving into a moment that could completely reshape the Middle East. We're talking about Iran, where the single most powerful figure is now gone. And what happens next? Well, that's going to have consequences for the entire world. Imagine this. The news flashes across the screen. After decades of shaping every single aspect of the nation's life, Iran's long-reigning supreme leader is dead. Just like that, the central pillar of the Islamic Republic has vanished. And that, right there, is the massive question. This isn't just another leadership change. No, this is about the future of a country of 88 million people. And honestly, the stability of a whole region. You see, the supreme leader's death doesn't just leave an empty chair. It rips open a massive power vacuum. What we are all about to witness is the start of a really high-stakes, behind-the-scenes struggle for control. Now, to really get a grip on just how big a deal this is, you have to understand the job itself. The supreme leader isn't just some political figurehead. Think about it. They're the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, they have the final say on all major state policies, and they hold immense religious authority. Literally all power flows from this one person. So, with that throne now officially empty, a battle that has been simmering just beneath the surface for years is about to explode into the open. So let's take a look at the key factions, the people who are now scrambling to grab that ultimate prize. Okay, what's so fascinating here is how this table really lays out three completely different visions for Iran. First, you have the IRGC hardliners. Now, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps isn't just some army unit. It's a massive economic empire with its tentacles in every part of society. Their goal? Easy. Keep and expand that control. Then, you've got the political pragmatists, people like Ali Larijani. They see the country buckling under sanctions and believe that economic stability is the only way forward. And finally, you have the old guard, the traditional clerical establishment. Their main goal is just to preserve the whole theocratic system that gives them their power in the first place. And make no mistake, these groups are not friends. They're intense rivals. So you've got this three-way tug of war, and it puts Iran at this massive fork in the road. The outcome of this power struggle is probably going to send the country down one of three very, very different paths. All right, let's walk through these. Scenario one is what we're calling the Iron Fist. Basically, the IRGC wins, puts one of their own in charge, and Iran becomes even more militarized and cut off from the world. Scenario two, the calculated opening. This is where a pragmatist takes over and tries to fix the economy without, giving up the core ideas of the revolution. But then there's a third, much more chaotic possibility, the unraveling. This is where the factions just can't agree on a successor. The infighting spills out onto the streets, the regime's grip weakens, and you could see mass protests, maybe even total collapse.
So 3 paths, right? Each one with huge consequences. And you have to wonder, is there any playbook for this? Have we seen this movie before? Can history give us any clues at all about how a moment this volatile might actually play out?
When something this big happens, the first thing we do as analysts is look to history for clues. And while no two situations are ever exactly the same, looking at past authoritarian transitions can give us a really useful framework for understanding what's at play in Iran today. And this is where it gets really interesting. Let's compare Iran today to Spain back in 1975, right after its longtime dictator Francisco Franco died. Now, Spain famously transitioned to democracy. But look at the key differences. In Spain, the military was powerful, sure, but it was willing to step back. In Iran, the IRGC is a dominant economic and political force that is not going to give up power easily. Spain was trying to join Europe economically. Iran is buried under crippling sanctions. And maybe most important, Spain's opposition was organized and ready to govern. The conditions that allowed for a peaceful change in Spain, well, they just don't seem to be there in Iran. And that brings us to this quote, which just nails it. This isn't just a moment of danger. It's also a moment of profound change. Everything is on the table, for better or for worse. The uncertainty is the risk, yeah, but it's also the opportunity for a completely new direction. Okay, I know what you might be thinking. A high-stakes power struggle in Tehran seems pretty distant, right? Why should I care? Well, trust me, the outcome of this is going to send shockwaves across the entire globe, and you will absolutely feel them. Here's how. Just look at this number, 20%. 1/5. A fifth of all the oil the entire world burns every single day passes through one narrow little waterway that Iran controls. Any instability, any conflict, any change in attitude from a new Iranian government could choke off that flow and send gas prices through the roof overnight. And it doesn't stop with oil prices, not even close. The outcome here will redefine the balance of power across the entire Middle East. It will decide the future of international nuclear deals. A more aggressive Iran could spark new wars, while a collapsing Iran could trigger a massive refugee crisis. What happens in Tehran does not stay in Tehran. So in the end, we're left with the ultimate question. Is this going to be an orderly, if pretty tense, succession that basically keeps the system the same? Or is this the spark that finally ignites a revolution, leading to something totally new? The path that's chosen in the coming weeks and months will define Iran and the rest of the world for decades to come.